welcome to the round of Road America, or welcome to the round of Wisconsin here at Road America. Big news items happening overnight as the qualifying order that was set by the rather controversial prototype qualifying system called King of the Hill qualifying was thrown out after teams threatened protest because it was against the team owner contract that the team signed, that they cannot change the qualifying system mid-season, with the exception of one-off races. With the qualifying order being thrown out for this, the teams re-qualified again in the middle, or at 9 a.m. this morning. They re-qualified the cars to be ready for the 1 o'clock race under the previous qualifying system. So from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, they went out on track and qualified the cars. In final practice, which actually wasn't so final, Skyla Johnson led the practice order. We'll see if she'll be strong again here at Road America. Let's go to the race. Welcome! Here we are on the grid, and Nick Pericles is going to lead the field down to the green here on the inside. We have Henry Sanford, and away we go. Pericles got a good start. I don't think Sanford did. Jackwater from third got a great start as well. Oh, we got, I think, Maya blowing up further back, and that's going to bunch everybody up back there. And this should be a very interesting situation going on here now that the 9's going up in smoke. Will they get through cleanly now? They're 3 wide back there. Maya doesn't have a whole lot of place to go. And, oh, there we go. Here's a contact. There goes Maya Rahal. Thanos and Polyakov off the track. Vander Pesch almost went out too. Problems for all of them is now Henry Sanford's going for the lead. Myatt's teammate on the inside of Nick Pericles as they round up towards Hurry Downs. This section of the track, Hurry Downs. As now they're side by side going around this track. Oh, Sanford half off the track. He brings it back. And now you've got Thanos and well, Myatt's still driving around, but Pericles is now in definite contention for the lead here. Or he's in a definite lead now, not a whole lot of challenge from further back. Skyla Johnson's going way off the road there. Oh, watch out, Baskinger towards the back there. Almost, oh, somebody is off in the back. Looks like Tauger went off. Tauger was one of the ones who thrilled in King of the Hill qualifying, but he saves it. But he's way down the order now, as well as there's Kenny Myatt there. Pace car parks in a pretty interesting spot here. They're leaving it over there as a medical car. Our medical car broke down, actually, yesterday, so they're using the Ferrari pace car as a medical car today. They don't need it here, but here comes Nick Pericles up the hill. He's leading. This race will lead the first lap of the race, and now Tanya Jackwater's under threat by Nick Mace to take third away here as they rise up over the hill. Looks like here comes Henry Sanford for the lead now. Sanford for the lead on the inside of Pericles. And Pericles is going to try and hold him off again. Thrilling battling now. Further up the order, looks like Brock now. Brock was one of the big beneficiaries from that qualifying season. He would have started back in 40th position, and he started way up the order because of it. Them eliminating it. And it looks like here comes Sanford again, trying to make a move on Pericles down into the braking zone for Station 5. And I think he will try and get it done this time. He will get it done. Pericles, though, hanging up on the outside. They're side by side all the way around this track, and that's actually helping Nick Mace get up the order as well. Henry Sanford versus Pericles. Pericles now through Hurry Downs. And now Pericles is going to hold the lead. Myatt's still on track. Now finally pitting. Bad start for Christian Vander Pesch. He would have started 4th under the old system. Bad start for Vander Pesch. We're on board of the Round of Montana winner. He would be the first casualty outage of the race due to accident. Myatt would go out before him as he would fly into the tire barrier coming through the carousel. Sean Angel, of course, the last time we were here was involved in a very controversial accident that took the life of Jeffrey Finguy right in this section of the track. Oh! Charles Sanford almost again there. That's a scary section of the track to have a wreck in, and they almost had one there. as the field is getting by Angel quite clearly. A little further up the grid, we're seeing some pretty close battling there with Cody Lamas alongside of Charles Samper. Round up and over through the backside of the course. Oh, big wreck there. Looks like we got Tamara DeLise and DJ Curtis. Hard wreck there, it looks like. Yeah, DeLise and Curtis, they were battling pretty hard there as they would get turned towards the wall, and that's a pretty big incident there. They both flipped over there, and both drivers would walk away from the incident, thankfully. More side-by-side battling for the lead between Nick Percules and Henry Sanford now, and now we're actually starting to see Nick Mace get onto the scene here. These two have been duking it out for the lead this whole race so far. Lap 3 of 32 now. Looks like finally Sanford's going to get the move done. And yes, Sanford does get the move done there. Finally, Nick Percules tried his best, but Percules is looking to fight back here, rising up through this section of track. It's pretty difficult there. Wow, there's some pretty close racing further back there. I'm seeing Jessica Shelton, James Shelley. Is that 3 wide I saw back there? Could have been, but man, close racing here. Whoa, Shelton! Almost lost it there. Looks like she's alongside Allie Nelson now and actually throws a block on Nelson there as the field kind of rounds its way around this track. Henry Sanford slides wide in the carousel. This is going to bring Percules right back to him. Percules now, as they're entering this very, very difficult section of the track now. Contact! Ooh, that was close there. Percules kept it under control, though. But Sanford is going to hold the lead. Time for a second incident now, this time in the carousel, as Aaron Perkins would wash out her car and go into the tire wall. That section of the corner is very difficult, and I believe she would fall out of the race. 3 wide racing now with Chris Washer and James Shelley. Looks like Shelley is going to wisely back out of that one. Actually, Shelton just was faster than them both and took 10th over, or actually that's battle for 8th, actually. So Jessica Shelton having a pretty good battle there, or having a pretty good time there up. Sanford slides wide again. That's going to bring Percules right back to the bumper here on lap 4 as they go through that section of track. We're going to go a little further back here as this section of track is one of the more difficult ones we go to. The kink there. Luckily, they set up pretty easily as here comes Allie Nelson slinging her car to the outside there to make a move on Shelley. Looks like a little further back we got one of the KIRs back there making a move. That's Nathan McCain. And that it was actually on Matt Duncan. Duncan got held up by Thaber. Then now McCain's going to try Thaber here, I think, entering the final corner. Thaber slides wide a little bit, and man, this has been some great racing out of Road America, to be honest with you, as they rise up over the hill again. As now, Henry Sanford is now definitely starting to get a lead here, as Skyla Johnson now has gotten by. Well, actually, no, I take that back. Cross is fighting, actually, with Shelton. Shelton held the position there as you go through the order a little bit. I don't know what happened to Rome. Oh, Rahal was in that first lap wreck down at Station 2. Problems for Marian Shawrot. Shawrot might be pitting a little early. Oh, Jacob Hart's got a problem. He wrecked that car somewhere. This one started when Marian Shawrot would make a move on Ike Durbin here, entering Canada corner. And what would happen here is Ike Durbin will get a little bit squirrely there, sending them all around. And right there is where Jacob Hart would get into Marian Shawrot there, sending him pretty much into the pits almost immediately. Battle here between Jessica Shelton and Allie Nelson. Looks like Nelson's going to slide back into position there as they enter Canada corner again. A little further back, there's some pretty close racing here between Chris Washer and James Shelley, and Noah Hart back there as well, as they're rounding around this track as quickly as possible. Oh, contact there. There goes Washer off the track, and Washer's around taking out the track markers there. The gravel would save it, and he would keep the car running. That would put Washer back on track as Travell went off the track as well. Now, Chris Washer is a little bit further down the order than he'd like to be. William Brock would go off the road down in the carousel. We didn't, actually we did get video of it, but I just don't want to show it to you, believe it or not. Actually, no, he did go off in the carousel, however. taking him out of a pretty good position. Alex Allen actually is having an issue as well. Christian Vander Pesch would be battling with Vincent Allen here, our point leader, as they would make contact and start pushing each other into the wall. They both don't like each other very much right there, and Vander Pesch would go into the tire wall, entering turn 6. Vincent Allen would have tried to drive away, but wouldn't. So tough break for both of them. They would fall out of the race, but I think that was both on them being angry at each other. So now the 2 Durbin Sport cars, 2 of the fastest cars on track now, are catching Tanya Jackwater. This is a pretty important position run here on 3 wide for that position. Oh boy, this could be pretty interesting as they enter station 6 down here. Oh boy, Cross is gonna maybe make the move work on the outside. He does. Cross makes the move work. And Jackwater is falling down the order little by little there. Johnson made things better. No, not there though. Oh boy, there was nearly contact there with Tanya Jackwater. Johnson now, that's the car, that's the same team that Jeffrey Finguy technically drove for. That is the old 92 car. He was quick in final practice, but has been slowed up in some pretty marred and pretty heavy traffic, as now Johnson will get by Tanya Jackwater, and now, oh, look at this! Nellie Nelson slingshots by! That might be pass of the season right there. On board with Allie Nelson, you could tell that everybody's getting held up here. And a little bit of contact there, but Nelson makes the move work. Entering Canada corner, and just gets it woed up in time. However, for Allie Nelson, this would get pretty squirrely here, as Nelson would not get slowed up that time around and slide just off the road. She would bring it back on the road right there, but lost a couple of spots in the process, and here comes Shelton's going to get her, I think, as well. Nick Pericles now is trying to get back up to Henry Sanford now, as everybody's being held up by the pretty slow Marian Sharrock car, and Jacob Hart's also back there as well. Not looking exactly the strongest out there on track, but Henry Sanford's really turned on the heat late in the season to make him a, serious contender. And it's time for pit stops now, as Nick Pericles leads, Henry Sanford led Pericles onto the pit road. Here they all come. A couple of cars did stay out. I believe Nick Mace did. Further up the grid, yes, he did. And Tyler Thaber stayed out as well. But Pericles and Sanford, it looks like Sanford's going to beat Pericles off by quite some margin there. Pericles not paying attention, hits the pit wall there and goes around. And that was a pretty silly maneuver there by Nick Pericles. And now Allie Nelson's going to get held up because of it, and Nelson's not going to take too kindly to that. Nelson's shaking her fist, and I would play radio, but I don't have a sensor on me right now. And I think that was the one-fingered salute to Nick Pericles there for that display of idiocity that Nick Pericles just showed there. Andrew Cross actually is going to make out like a fat rat here. But now we're going to see, what can Nick Mace do? Can Nick Mace now stretch himself over Henry Sanford in second? And now Nick Pericles is holding up Tanya Jackwater. Jackwater can't do a whole lot there. Coming onto the scene, James Shelley outbrakes himself and drives straight to the back of Jackwater there and spins out his FPM car. And Pericles would also go around as well. I would say it was Pericles' fault for being slow, but James Shelley just wasn't paying attention to what was going on. Here comes Saarinen on the inside of McCain, going through some of the carousel now. Very complex corner now. And it looks like Saarinen won't get the position there, as Jackwater in the damaged 33 car is going to be a factor now. Ike Durbin a little further back there in the 21 car, having one of the better races of the season, and a batter-stricken season for Audi. Jackwater's trying to make a move. Nope. As everybody's now trying to make serious moves now. Big drop-off there for Skyla Johnson. Johnson really got held up there on the pit cycle. Really didn't look very quick on the pit cycle. Here was the pole-sitting car under the original system. Jake Baskinger, not under the original system, out of the prototype system. Baskinger did not do well in this morning's qualifying. After pit stops, Nick Mace would come out right in front of Henry Sanford. So Mace is our leader now today here at the round of Wisconsin here. And Henry Sanford in second. Third place is actually Andrew Cross. Fourth is Thaver. Believe it or not, and fifth is Allie Nelson. A little further back now, you've got this long line of cars here, and there's a lot of quick cars in this pack that are beginning to start reeling everybody in. Skyla Johnson's making herself known on the inside of Tanya Jackwater there as they go through the carousel, as they go through the kink rather. Johnson completes the pass on Tanya Jackwater, but here comes Jake Baskinger to the scene now, and Baskinger almost got both of them there, but doesn't. And Johnson blocks there and makes a good block. A little further back, you got Ike Durbin and Jessica Shelton now having to deal with Jackwater as well. Jackwater's staying out because it's not affecting her handling that much. As now we go further up the field, Sanford has retaken the lead away from Nick Mace, entering Station 1. And they're going to catch Alex Allen again here, who's on a different pit strategy, but he's quite a bit off the pace. Almost 7 seconds off the pace a lap. Henry Sanford now is being held up by Alex Allen. Alex Allen will be the team leader of the new team next year, Nopea, Finland. And here comes, Nick Mace onto the scene. Sanford does a good block there, but now Mace is trying a pretty aggressive move in the kink, but just backed out of it wisely. As they go through the kink now, entering Canada corner. Actually, that's Kettle Bottoms they're in now, entering Canada corner. And looks like, a little bit off, a little bit wide there by Henry Sanford now as they rise up to the scene here. Nick Mace does. Mace backing off as Mace is all over the back now as they come through the final corner of the track. And they will now try and drag race. Well, no, it looks like Sanford got a better run off that corner than Nick Mace did. A little further back, Nathan McCain tried to make a move on Jake Baskinger. Doesn't look like it's going to mean a whole lot there. But now it's Skyla Johnson's turn to try and make a move as Ike Durbin and Jessica Shelton are battling. Johnson gets down to the scene. A little bit of contact there with McCain. McCain tried squeezing her there. I think for now it might hold her off for a little bit, but as now they enter Station 3. And what a kind of a thrilling race we're getting towards this top 10, the lower half of the top 10. Roman Rahal would grenade the Tangerine 81 car for Blue Flare Motorsports. That car would grenade and pretty much ending the hopes of Rahal getting any. Well, actually, his hopes were pretty much gone in turn 3 of the race, in Station 3 of the race. But Rahal having a lot of problems. Actually, Mace is going to get held up here by Rahal. It's a tough break for Nick Mace and Roman Rahal. Now the field's coming up to Roman Rahal here. We're going to make sure everybody gets by all right. Actually, pretty close battles back there. Oh, I don't like this much. I don't like that much, but they somehow made that work. It's a pretty close battle here between Jake Baskinger and Skyla Johnson. Baskinger was actually battling with Nelson for a little bit there. Alex Allen's finally going to bring her down pit road. Saarinen is as well. Saarinen had a pretty poor pit stop as they rise up and over the hill once again. Oh boy, here comes Baskinger and Johnson now. Trying to get both by Allie Nelson. Baskinger will make the move. Doesn't look like Johnson will. Johnson slid a little bit there. You gotta be careful. Every time you slide like that, that could be an accident. Here comes Jessica Shelton now on a storm up the order now. Shelton looking pretty quick. However, Henry Sanford would begin to overheat his car and grenade his gearbox. So tough break for Sanford, giving the lead to Mace. So Nick Mace is in sole possession of the race lead after Henry Sanford grenaded his gearbox. Andrew Cross is in second now. A little further back, we got third place Tyler Thaber. And now you got a big battle here as they're trying to get by the lap car of Tuomas Saarinen. Saarinen, of course, having gearbox issues himself as they are kind of right around this track. Now, the field's kind of spreading out little by little here, so we're having some fun with that kind of situation. Skyla Johnson would finally get by Jake Baskinger. Or actually, no, Baskinger's trying to take the position away from Johnson. And, well, Johnson held a better line there as they enter the kink. And Skyla Johnson doing a nice job up to 4th position now. And Skyla Johnson, I believe, is one of the fastest cars on track right now. Definitely a lot faster than Nick Mace right now. However, then Jake Baskinger would start on a charge and get up into 3rd position by passing his teammate, Tyler Thaber now, as battling is really heating up now. Baskinger takes the lead away from Tyler Thaber as they... Now Jake Baskinger is taking a very defensive line entering the next corner. And no, Baskinger's got a problem. Baskinger just blew a tire, it looks like. Baskinger blew a tire, and now he is going to lose all that ground he gained. And, well, that's racing for you. Jake Baskinger's bad luck would continue. Bad luck Baskinger is back. I hate to say it, too. Entering the kink, this is a scary situation here. Whoa, they made 3 wide for the kink work. I can't believe they made that work. James Shelley did. Every time they try something aggressive through that kink, I always cringe because of that incident 2 years ago. But, man, here they go through some of this track. Now, Noah Hart's a new battler now, as Ryan Griffin also is up the order. Shelley's been kind of there all day, but a couple of cars now starting to get up the order now, and we're beginning to get some more pit stops now. Mace is going to stay out an extra lap, as does Tyler Thaber. The 2 Durbin Sports will be the first cars leading on pit road. Hart stays out as well. Oh, problems for Charles Samper. He really took a big hit there. This happened a long time ago, but Charles Samper would slide off the track and into the tires. We never noticed it until now, but he went off the track. Nick Mace brings the 48 car to the pits now. And now we're starting to see a pretty interesting pit strategy race now. We're just past halfway. Some of these other cars may have a pit stop issue now, as looks like problems for Nathan McCain. We'll see what happens to him there. But problems for Nathan McCain, and that's not good for him. Looks like Thaber's in, and it looks like 3rd place Ryusu's in, 4th place Hart is in. Now we're watching Andrew Cross in comparison to Nick Mace. Also, Pericles is in as well. Here comes Nick out of the pits. And Mace is going to get a big lead here over Andrew Cross. Allie Nelson's all over now. Tyler Thaber as they rise through this section of the corner. Or this section of the track towards the end of it. And Nelson will get the move done right there. So Allie Nelson takes over 3rd position away from Tyler Thaber, and their 2nd place driver, Andrew Cross. McCain finally gets going, but Nick Mace has a pretty big lead. Noah Hart and Jessica Shelton then would enter the battle into do battle, and exiting Canada corner. They're side by side going through the back end of the track, and I believe it's going to go to Hart here. This corner tends to favor inside, and yes, it does. Noah Hart to, I believe that was 8th position. Michael Cavagnaro would fall out of the race with a gearbox problem as well, so tough break for Cavi. Andrew Cross from 2nd position would slide off the road now and go into the tire wall, putting his chances at glory pretty much gone there. That's going to give 2nd position to Thaber, 3rd to Skyla Johnson. And this is Nick Mace going to the back end of the track. Thaber entering Canada corner, so there is quite some distance between them. It's going to take a miracle, or it's going to take some problem from Nick Mace for Thaber to have any chance at this. RL Ryusu is the next driver to begin to get on a charge. He's been on a charge since the last major stop. It looks like we actually have a car possibly blowing up somewhere. But, Polyakov maybe had some contact there as Nick Mace is coming up there. But Ryusu towards the back is on a move now as Nick Mace pretty much, I think, has this, for the most part, locked up. Thaber's trying everything he's got, but I don't see much of a change there when Mace is faster.
Mace did a 152.2. Let's see what Thaber's gonna do. Even that time, Mace was faster than Thaber the last lap. And let's see what happens here. Yeah, Mace is still faster. Skyla Johnson now is becoming one of the fastest cars on track, doing 152.1s around this track. Skyla Johnson is, as they're trying to get by the slow car of Nick Pericles. I don't think she'll get it this time because Pericles is holding her up. But I don't think there would be enough time with the speed she's running to catch Mace. She would catch Thaber, but not Mace. Mace just has such an absolutely massive lead now as he's coming up to lap Jacob Hart, which that'll be pretty easy for him. Ooh, problems for Cody Lamas. Lamas has a mechanical problem as well. And Lamas has had a miserable season. Unsure where he'll end up next year. Kyle Schock Jr., who's had a pretty poor weekend, would also slide off the track and fall out. It's a tough break for Schock. And Tyler Thaber would grenade the 44 car, taking him out of a clear second-place run. So Thaber would fall out of the race. His bad luck would continue. So Nick Mace is on pit road now. He's got a monstrous lead right now. Simply monstrous lead. Siren would also fall out with a... I don't know why Siren fell out, but Brock now is coming onto the pits now as here comes pretty much everybody. That's a long way back to Skyla Johnson, though. I don't see it happening. Skyla Johnson is slowly reeling in race leader Nick Mace. It's not going to be enough, though, at this rate. She's really got to lay down the hammer now. If she's got any chance of catching Mace, there just simply isn't enough time. Under those regards, she would need something big to happen to Mace, and it actually looks like that is happening. Nick Mace has a problem! Nick Mace has a serious problem with the car! He might have a tire going down, and this is not good for Mace. But this could be thrilling for Skyla Johnson. That team was Jeffrey Finn, guys, 2 years ago when he tragically died at this track in a serious accident now, and Skyla's got the lead. Not long left for Skyla Johnson now. R.L. Ryusu now is the second-place driver, with third place being Jessica Shelton. This could be a career day for Skyla Johnson. Tough break for Katone Nakagawa. She would somehow beach the car in the gravel and fall out. Tough break for her. Ryan Griffin, one of the main championship contenders, would fall out of the race, blowing up the car. That would be a tough break for Griffin. He was in the top 10 when that happened. So we're now starting to see what this is going to happen here. Mace is back on the track, back fighting for, I believe that is 9th position. And Mace is not happy about it. Now Noah Hart from 4th would break down, or have a tire go down rather. So now Noah Hart's having issues with the car, and he's quite a ways from the pits. And looks like, he's going to try and block Baskinger. That's kind of ridiculous there, but heads-up driving by Jake Baskinger, his fellow statesman. Excuse me. As Noah Hart is now having issues as well, similar to Nick Mace. Skyla Johnson's now caught the lap car of Vincent Allen now running around this track and down in Station 2. Or that's 3, actually. Station 3. Station 4 is right here at this bridge, and Station 5 is one of the most complex corners on the track. She does get by Vincent Allen cleanly. Ryusu's bogged down behind 2 lap cars who are battling for position between Alex Allen and Tuomas Serna. Actually, I don't think they are, believe it or not. I think one is 2 laps down, or 1 lap down, the other is quite a few laps down. But now, Skyla Johnson has 1.5 laps to go. And if she pulls this off, this could be one of the most feel-good stories of the entire season, would be that 32 car winning here. Like I said, that team had that fatality to deal with last year, or 2 years ago, with that team. And if they pull this off, Skyla Johnson could pull off a feel-good win here at Road America. Paula Thanos would grenade the 93 car, another one of the Finguy Brigade, Finguy Developmental Program, and actually Noah Hart would not have a tire go down. That was a lot more serious. and he would blow up the engine as well. So we're starting to see a lot of engine issues. Oh, Jacob Hart off the track there as well. So Allie Nelson also, we think, had a tire issue sometime in this race as well, putting her back to 10th. Through the trickiest corner on the track for the final time for Skylar Johnson. If she can keep it under control on this final lap, I think nothing's going to stop her. She does. Second place is a long way down the order with R.L. Ryusu. Third is Jessica Shelton now, who got by a couple of cars there. Wow, probably the biggest, hardest charger in the grid has been Shelton. Down to Canada corner for the final time. This is a feel-good story so far. Final couple of corners now for Skylar Johnson in the 32 car, formerly the 92. Final corner now as she rounds the hill. That team is going to be ecstatic with this result. Durbin Sports had a miserable year, but Skylar Johnson brings it home for the 32 car, formerly the 92 car. What a showing by the young driver. Second position is going to go to R.L. Ryusu. Third place is going to go to Jessica Shelton. Let's go down to your finishing results. I'm sure the podium's going to be ecstatic today.